So I'm going to go over the basics of focusing your specimen without using the oil immersion lens. So this is just basic focusing with a prepared slide. All right. So you won't be able to see my face probably for the majority of the video. That's okay, because I want you to focus, no pun intended, on what I'm doing with the microscope. All right. So I've got a prepared slide here. Let's just pretend that I've just pulled this microscope out of the cabinet. If it's been put away properly, then I've already plugged it in, but the stage should be all the way down and the lowest power objective should be selected, which of course this one is. So I'm going to turn the microscope on. I'm going to adjust till I can see some light so I know that the power is working. I'm going to take my prepared slide. I'm going to open the stage clip, slide the slide in there, and then move the slide into position using the mechanical stage adjustment knobs here. Okay. Now the slide is in position. I haven't touched the focus knobs yet. The light. One of the things that you should do initially is make sure that the iris diaphragm is opened up all the way, so it's allowing the maximum allowed amount of light through the diaphragm, okay, through the iris. So I'm going to turn the light intensity down so that when I look in the oculars, it's not going to blind me with all the light. And I'm going to, in this case, I'm going to remove my safety glasses. I'm going to adjust the ocular lenses so that when I have both of my eyes open, okay, and I put them, position my face just so that I see one circle, okay? So you'll see two circles. As you move in, those circles should merge and you should see one white-ish circle, okay? Without touching, notice that I'm not actually making physical contact with the ocular lens, right? So, and I'm not closing one eye. So these are binocular scopes, meaning that there's two ocular lenses or two eyepieces. Therefore, you should keep both eyes open and train yourself to use these microscopes with both eyes open. It takes a little getting used to, but it's not that difficult, and you will be able to see your specimens much better with both eyes open, which is why we like to use binocular scopes. Okay, so now I've got the adjustments made. The light's not too bright right now. Initially, I'll probably have to adjust that later. I'm going to use the coarse focus adjustment knob and raise the stage all the way up. Okay, I've already made sure that the lowest power objective has been selected. That's important because if I try to raise the stage all the way up and one of the longer objective lens is selected, then I'm likely to make contact with the lens in the slide, which might damage the slide. Even worse, it might damage the scope. Okay, so with the lowest power objective selected, I go all the way up, and it will actually stop. You don't have to worry about crunching the lowest power objective, the 4X objective. Okay, so it will stop. Now I'm going to look in the eyepiece, and I'm going to slowly, still using the coarse focus knob, I'm going to slowly lower the stage until the slide comes into focus. Okay. Now when I think I've found something, it typically doesn't take, you don't have to move very far. Here's the thing. There are different planes of focus, okay? Only one of those planes has your specimen in it, because these are very small, thin specimens. So you may see two or three things that you think might be your specimen as you are focusing down, okay? So this just takes some getting used to, and after you use the microscope enough, you will just kind of know which one your specimen is. But I'm going to show you a neat trick to verify that you're actually looking at your specimen in the microscope slide. So when you think you found your specimen, and you may need to adjust the light up or down. If it's too bright or too dim, you can make an adjustment there. Okay, you can even make an adjustment with the iris diaphragm knob. Sometimes it helps bring some contrast out. This is something that you need to play with as you start to use your scope and get a feel for, right? Okay, so I think that I'm looking at the specimen on my scope. How can I verify that? By using the mechanical stage adjustment knob. As I'm looking into the through the oculars, I'm going to make a slight adjustment on one of these knobs, okay? And what I want to see when I do that is I want to see movement. I want to literally see movement. That way I know that I'm looking at the slide, because when I move one of these, the slide's going to move either forwards or backwards or side to side a little bit. And I should see that movement as I'm looking through the oculars. If I'm moving the mechanical stage and I'm not seeing movement through the oculars, then I'm looking at the wrong plane. I'm not focused on the plane that contains the specimen on the slide. And so then I'll need to start over until I find the proper plane and find my specimen. Okay. Once I find the specimen, I'm convinced that I've found the specimen, then I'm going to focus in as best I can using the fine focus knob. I'm going to make adjustments to center the specimen up and put it close to the end. When you look through the eyepiece, you will see a pointer, right? So I want to put my specimen close to the pointer, because the pointer will always be near the center of my field of view. And then I want to move up in magnification, being careful to move the correct direction. So I don't want to go from 4x to 1,000 or to 100x objective. That would be the wrong direction. I want to go to the next highest power objective, which from 4x is 10x. So I move to 10x. Now at this point I should not touch the coarse focus knob again. I should not make any adjustments in the focus using the coarse focus adjustment knob. Okay, that should only be used using the lowest power objective, which is the 4x. Okay, once I move up to higher power objectives, I should only make focus adjustments using the low power focus adjustment knob. Okay, so I'm going to look through my oculars. It'll probably be blurry, at least a little bit. I'm going to bring it into crisp focus using only my fine focus knob. I'm going to make another adjustment in the position of my specimen to make sure that it's centered in my field of view. If I've somehow lost my specimen, I can do two things. I can go back down to the 4x objective and find it again, make a new adjustment, and then swing back up. Or I can hunt around a little bit using the mechanical stage adjustment knobs. Hopefully, if it's close by, I can find it. Ultimately, if I fail to find it that way, I'm going to go back down again and reboot, start over. Okay, so I found it at 100x using the 10x objective. I have repositioned my specimen. I have brought it into as crisp a focus as possible using my fine focus knob, right? And now I'm ready to go up to the next highest power objective, which from 10x is 40x. So this will give me a total magnification of 400x. And at this point, when I look through the oculars, it'll look blurry again, typically, and it might look very dim, like there's not enough light. That's because as you increase magnification, less and less light is getting to the objective lens. So I'm going to make a light adjustment to bring the light up a bit. I'm going to make a focus adjustment using only the fine focus knob, and then another position adjustment if necessary using the mechanical stage adjustment knobs. Okay, so now the lights just went out on me. If I move around a bit, oh look, magic, they come back on. Okay, so now I'm at 400x total magnification, 400 times total magnification, and I'm in as good a focus as possible, which for most microbes, like bacteria, is still not good enough. So the next objective lens is the oil immersion lens, and I'm going to show you how to use the oil immersion lens in a different video. All right, so let's just pretend that you have focused your microscope and you've looked at your specimen at whatever magnification necessary, and now you are done. So you want to pull the specimen out, or off the microscope. Don't just, with the stage up and these higher power objective lenses selected, don't just grab your slide. First thing you should do is go back, or first thing you should do is use the coarse adjustment knob and lower the stage all the way. Okay? Then you should be selecting the lowest power objective. That will give you the maximum amount of space to work with when putting on or taking off a slide. Okay, so at this point now I can go ahead and remove my slide from the stage, and I'm done and I'm ready to put my next slide on, or I'm ready to put the microscope away.